Hello, this is Gare, and today, welcome to Reading with Gare. Today we will be reading some more coronavirus broadcasts. This first story is called The Novel Coronavirus, What Is It? By WeatherBug's Brandon Bush. 2020 039 8:39 a.m. A new coronavirus has appeared and traveled all around the globe, making headlines along the way. The coronavirus constitutes a large family of viruses that produce a variety of illnesses in both humans and animals, the most common of which is aptly named the common cold. Far more severe variations of the virus exist and have been responsible for many of the previous disease outbreaks since the turn of the century. Such outbreaks include Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS, and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, SARS, which occurred in the early 2000s. The newest member of the coronavirus family made its appearance in Wuhan, China, in December 2019. The novel coronavirus spread quickly throughout China, and despite efforts to contain it, every continent except Antarctica has seen cases of the virus. The new virus is very similar to the original SARS. It has been given the formal name of SARS, CoV-2, and the actual disease that they spread is called Coronavirus Disease 2019, COVID-19. The original SARS results in a respiratory illness that progressively increases in severity. The new SARS is an acute respiratory illness that can become severe, but though it is not guaranteed. Both viruses originate from bats. Symptoms appear 1 to 14 days after being infected. In mild cases, symptoms may appear as flu-like, with coughing and a fever. Symptoms may not appear at all. More severe cases will include aches, pains, nasal congestion, runny nose, sore throat, diarrhea, and shortness of breath. Older people and those with pre-existing conditions, such as high blood pressure, heart and respiratory illnesses, and diabetes, are at greater risk of developing severe symptoms. It spreads by coming into contact with someone infected by the virus, then rubbing your nose, eyes, or mouth. Therefore, it is important to remain at least 3 feet away from someone who is or might be infected. Cover coughs or sneezes with a tissue, and always thoroughly wash your hands when possible. Another safety measure to help prevent the virus from spreading is disinfecting frequently touched things like door handles and kitchen counters. Source: Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The next story is called Novel Coronavirus, Who's at Higher Risk? By WeatherBug's Chris Sayles. 2020 0430 6:47 a.m. The unprecedented novel coronavirus COVID-19 has affected many countries, spreading rapidly around the world. In most cases, people who have traveled outside of the U.S. recently, especially to parts of China and Europe, are at a higher risk for contracting the virus because of higher exposure chances. If you have not traveled outside of the U.S., the threat for contracting the coronavirus is still low at this point. certain factors such as age and health history play a big role in determining your risk of getting ill from the coronavirus. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, warns that elderly or people with heart conditions pertaining to the heart, lungs, or kidneys seem to be at higher risk for serious complications from the COVID-19 virus. In fact, the chance of having a serious bout with the illness is said to be doubled for senior citizens. Outlined below are the specific risks for each group of people who may be at a higher risk of getting sick. Seniors. As mentioned earlier, senior citizens are at a higher risk because as our bodies get older, our immune systems go through changes that can affect how viruses are fended off. This is especially true with anyone with health complications that make it difficult to recuperate from other viruses, such as the common cold or the flu. Pregnant women, like any illness or virus during pregnancy, the novel coronavirus is no exception to being a threat to expectant mothers. In fact, COVID-19 highlights the importance of clean hygiene while expecting. The CDC has yet to confirm that pregnant women are more susceptible to this virus. The risk will become clearer as more cases appear. As of right now, it is best to wash your hands frequently and avoid anyone or places that may put you at risk for infection. Children and infants. Being a parent can be stressful, especially when children have an illness. To say that the new COVID-19 is any different would be absurd. The good news that there isn't any information available that suggests that children are more susceptible to the virus than adults. In fact, studies have shown that childhood infections of past similar viruses, such as the severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, and the Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS, were at a minimum. In terms of this new virus, limited information available suggests that children who do contract the coronavirus have milder symptoms, with very little reported to have severe complications with virus. One thing's for sure, if you or a family member is around anyone who is sick, make sure to take necessary precautions from spreading the virus. Call your doctor and inform them of your symptoms. Have emergency supplies ready. Make sure you have necessary medication stocked up. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid crowded areas. Wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. Use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your face, nose, eyes, mouth, etc. Disinfect any high-touch areas such as keyboards, desks, tabletops, etc. In extreme cases, the coronavirus can be fatal. The best way to stay safe is to be aware of any changes to your health after 2 to 14 days of exposure to someone who is ill. Symptoms such as fever, coughing, and shortness of breath are the most common signs of the coronavirus. If you've experienced any of these symptoms, make sure to stay home until you are well and contact your health care provider. At the end of the day, it may not be the coronavirus, but it is better to be safe than sorry. Source: Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Image story, Gene Campbell left, watches through his window as he talks on the phone with his son Charlie at the Life Care Center in Kirkland, Wash. Friday, March 6, 2020. Charlie and his mother Dorothy came to visit Gene Friday as he is isolated in the facility that has been the epicenter of the outbreak of the COVID-19 coronavirus. Ted S. Warren, AP. The next story is called Pets and Coronavirus, What You Need to Know, by WeatherBug's Chris Sales. 2020, 04:30, 6:47 a.m. Even though this is still a developing story, the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, may affect more than just adults and children. It's no secret that animals have been prone to diseases. For example, the influenza virus spans across many species such as birds, bats, and cats, to name a few. Is COVID-19 different? Outlined below are answers to common questions related to pets and the coronavirus. Should I be concerned about my pet catching COVID-19? It turns out that the CDC suggests that this virus may have emerged from an animal source, but there's no validity in thinking that your pets carry the strain that has taken the world by storm. As of early March, there has not been any reports of pets or animals showing symptoms of COVID-19. However, this doesn't mean that they are not prone to getting the virus. Should I avoid pets if I am sick with COVID-19? The main worry is that this virus will continue to spread from person to person, and there isn't much information available at this time that suggests that pets can carry or spread the deadly virus. However, it is important to maintain healthy hygienic practices. Animals have been known to spread viruses such as the flu and rabies, so it is always a best practice to wash your hands after handling any pets or livestock. What are the symptoms of COVID-19? And what should I do if I suspect that I have it? The following are symptoms that may be seen 2 to 14 days after being exposed to the coronavirus. Fever, excessive coughing, shortness of breath. If you or a loved one is showing any of these symptoms, it is important that you seek medical attention immediately in order to reduce that chance of further spreading the virus. You should try your best to limit contact with any pets or wear a face mask if you must interact with them. What if I recently received a pet from outside of the U.S.? If your pet has recently been imported from foreign countries such as China and Europe, then they should be observed for showing signs of illness. If you suspect that your pet is ill, call your local veterinarian before going to their location and inform them of their suspicions and where they came from. Remember, the best defense for you and your pet is to stay safe from the coronavirus is to frequently wash your hands, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol content, and always cover your face when coughing or sneezing. By following these steps, you will create a safer environment for you and your lovable pet children. Source: Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Story image. A man wearing a mask walks his dog in Hong Kong. Friday, March 6, 2020. AP photo / King Cheung. That's it for this episode of Reading with Gare, my narration series. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and support me by buying from my eBay and Mercari stores. Both links are in the description. Goodbye.